Mason. "You're still fixed on driving the herd up north this month, Mase? There's that trouble with the Comanches. Railroad north of Dallas is cut by the Indians. Won't be running for another month or so." He nodded. "The Chisholm Trail's so overrun with Apaches and Comanches and Comancheros. The Army shut it down for a good while. Same with the Shawnee Trail. Anything west of that's a long distance out of our way. Was I to wait for those trails to open up, we'd be competing with the big herds for grazing, for trail headway, and they'd get the jump on me with the buyers." "Well, you already have that buyer. Mr. Osgood seems a decent sort. He said he'd buy every steer you've got if you could get him to the railhead, and I believed him. Why not just take his word for it?" "I do believe he's reliable, but he's practical, too. He's got only so much money to spend, and if the other herds get there first with good beef, he'll buy from them. He's offered me top dollar. I want to get that herd to him." "We've got no choice but to wait, Mase, unless you want to herd them east to Louisiana. Wouldn't get as good a price there. No, I'm for Wichita. You know, Crane Williams found another trail a couple years back. I'm going to talk to him about it." "You make this work for me, Fuller, and I'll cut you in," said Tom Harning. "Hell, that ranch should have been mine all along. Mase Durst horned in and moved in with the help of his Yankee friends." Ralph Fuller squirmed in his chair. He was sitting behind a small desk in an office that was barely larger than the desk, in the back of the Clinton Bank, the only bank in the county. He was a man whose pallid, round-cheeked face was softened even more by indoor living, whose small mustache twitched from side to side as he considered his reply. "Well, I don't know about that, Tom. The government men did say the land was his, but the way I heard it, Durst got there first and legally staked his claim." "Well, that's what they tell you, but they're lying," Harning said, standing up and leaning vulture-like over the desk. He was a wide-bodied man of 45, with a square-cut beard to hide his jowls and bristling eyebrows that seemed to bristle even more when he was angry. His small gray eyes got smaller as he narrowed them at Fuller and went loudly on. "I'll not have you naysaying me on that or anything else, Fuller. I know what you did, and you know what you did." Fuller winced. "Well, now, these allegations, they come from a man who drinks too much, and we had to let him go. You let Barney Caper go because he saw you pay that gambling debt off with the bank's money." Fuller licked his lips. "That's why I have sat over the books with the accountant, and, oh, you juggled things around and made it work. And I hear that you put that accountant in for a raise. But your boss, Mr. Gaffel, will be interested to have a closer look if I give him the clue." "He'll just misunderstand it all, Tom, if you go putting a bee in his bonnet. You will do as I say, or that bee will be buzzing right in his ear." With that, Harning slapped his right hand flat and hard on the desk, making the bank manager recoil in his chair. Fuller gulped and spread his hands. "Well, I can't just call in the loan on that ranch when it's hardly in arrears. Why, we give all these folks a good while to sell their beef so's they can pay us, Tom. That's how it's understood. It pays off, too. Doesn't have to be that way. You call it in, and you see the bank sells that place to me." Fuller looked desperately at his blotter, as if it might offer some way out. "It's not that easy to get people out of a place they've been rightfully established in." "I'll deal with that, Fuller. Now," Harning stood up straight and crossed his arms over his chest, "are you going to do it, or am I going to get in touch with Mr. Gaffel?" Fuller closed his eyes and let out a long breath. Yes, all right, very well. I seem to have no choice." Mase Durst and Crane Williams sat out on the broad farmhouse porch, drinking hard cider and watching the moon rise over the flowering Texas plains. A biting breeze was sweeping down from the north, making Mase shiver. The Williams farm was 18 miles south of the Durst ranch. Mase had come here hoping to recruit Crane as a partner and work out the substitute.